the casserole that I'm making today originally calls for pattypan squash, those pretty little white squashes that almost look like flowers, but they're not in season yet. But this recipe is going to work nicely with this yellow summer squash. Now, I've used 6 large squash, and that comes to about 7 cups. I'm going to put it into a pot of boiling water. It's just that simple. Okay, so I'm going to cook this squash for about 6 to 7 minutes, and then I'm going to take it out and I'm going to drain it. And I have some here that's already drained, and you can see it kind of cooked down. And in this pot, I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of butter, and we're going to saute off a cup of onions, a clove of garlic, some salt and pepper, all right, now while that's sauteing off, oh, and I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of fresh parsley. And while that's sauteing, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to take 2 pieces of white bread, and I'm going to dunk them in water and moisten those up. And then I'm just going to squeeze that water gently out of that bread, just like that. And then I'm just going to crumble it up into our sauteing onions and garlic. All right, now I'm going to add our squash to the pan. And just let that all kind of cook together for a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to spray our casserole dish. In fact, everything we've done today in these get-ahead meals has been a casserole, hasn't it? To me, I think they're just lifesavers. I'm going to take this off the heat. And I'm going to crack 1 egg. And add that to the squash. And you'll want to be careful that you don't have it so hot that it'll scramble up your egg. All right, so I'm just going to dip this up into our casserole dish. Yeah, the egg is going to give it some substance and kind of bind it together. Because you notice we didn't add any liquid to this, just the liquid from the bread and the butter, and then the natural liquid that comes out of the squash. I've just gotten all my squash planted in the garden. I planted zucchini and yellow squash. And it's going to be so, so good. All right, I'm going to top our casserole now with some cracker crumbs, a nice buttery cracker. You can just choose your favorite. Or if you wanted to, you could top it with cheese. All right, let's just dot this with a little butter. We're going to throw this in the oven. Bake it for about 20 or 25 minutes. At 350. Now, if you're making this for a night or 2 down the road, you just cover it, put it in the refrigerator, and pull it out. It'll last for 2 days in the refrigerator. But I would hold off on my breadcrumbs. I wouldn't put those on until you were ready to bake it. And let's see what the other one looks like. It's ready. So let's give a quick little taste. You can see where the eggs have bound the dish together. Looks delicious. And it is delicious. So good.